Today on Mr. Mashu's channel, we'll see what happens when James surprises a cow with a gift. And we watch Gordon traversing through an old mine. But first, Thomas has a Dockside delivery to make. Good morning, video gamers. Mashu here, and welcome back to another review. It's been a bit since we did the last one, so I'm back with another, and this time on an actual new item for once. Another first is that this is the first time we're doing a modern review on a Thomas Hole Engine's Go item specifically. I hope you enjoy it. Today we're looking at the Metal Collection Thomas's Dockside Delivery Set. I purchased this online on the same night as the 80th anniversary of the original series, and it arrived in like 2 days. Very impressive shipping. The packaging has the new 2025 style we've seen with a couple other items. Just I haven't reviewed any of them on the channel yet. I'm kind of late. From memory, this set I think originally released around 2024 to 2023 I think. But it didn't have its assortment in Chile until December 2024. So we are kind of late in getting this. But hey, we got the updated box, so whatever. Some things to note with these changes is that the top of the box doesn't have a metal bit anymore. And in the bottom left hand corner, we see some stock art of the character we get included with this set, in this case Thomas. Note that the Mattel logo is here instead of the Fisher-Price logo. One change I like is this metal blue bit, which shows off which character and rolling stock is included. Other than that, the rest has stayed the same from the 2024 style of the boxes. The top shows a very clear image of the engine and the rolling stock, alongside the continuation of the blue banner we saw earlier, while the bottom has pure copyright blah blah nobody reads. The left side shows how many pieces are included and what pieces, alongside the continuation of the stock art. That was a good idea. While the right shows that it's compatible with other sets. Yeah, I sure hope it is, because it's from the same line of toys. The back shows off the set in clear action, with a couple of features, alongside the Mattel tagline. But there's one very massive error I have to point out. On the top flap, it says of what toy line this is. It should say Metal Collection, but it says Motorized. Beautifully translated in all languages. Let's just ignore this. Let's look at the set out of the box. Here's a picture that I took when I took out all of the things out of the box. We have 4 bags and a couple of loose pieces. A little parent's note here, there is a sticker sheet included with this set. It's not the biggest in the world, but just be careful if you're opening this right next to a child. One of them is a stock standard buffer sticker, while another one goes on the wooden sign accessory included with this set. I think it's supposed to represent no fishing in this area. I wonder why. The instructions included with this set are literally nothing of note. They're in color, multi-language, and they're very clear in their instructions. Note the 2023 year date. Other than that, this is just the stock standard style we all know. Let's look at our main boy, Thomas. You may think that this is a stock standard model of Thomas, until you look at the face. Yep, the main thing with these sets is that the character included have a new facial expression. This Thomas, unlike the normal one sold separately, is looking to his top left quite happy with a different smile. I personally am a big fan of the big eyes. Other than the face being different, there's literally no other change. The model is exactly the same as one you would buy for $5 brand new, sold separately, just with a different face print. Out of curiosity, I did a thing. Anyway. Moving on to the rolling stock, we have a single flatbed. This flatbed is just a regular old flatbed you will find in any other Metal Collection item, just with blue wheels in order to represent Thomas. I already have a couple of these of those, so it's nothing special. Moving on. In terms of cargo for the rolling stock, we have these crates. They look like wooden crates, do they? At least this cargo actually makes sense, because you would find crates in the dockside, would you? These crates could also be used for any other railway, to be honest, and any other truck you build, so it's quite a useful piece. You can connect onto the flatbed because the flatbed has a little peg, and the cargo as a whole. It reminds me of the Jack specific Mario sets now that I remember. With the engine, rolling stock, and cargo scrutinized, let's actually move on to the set now. Here's the complete truck layout. Yeah, it's so big that I had to do an overhead photo in order to show you the full thing. If I actually showed this in the regular recording style, it would have looked a little bit like this. Be glad you're getting a normal video for once. I bet you I'm gonna have to do this thing again for future sets. Well, whatever. Let's see how the set plays out. Since the set is so long, I want to do this like fully in hand, so I'll try. Tom's can go up this hill. Down here. You have this green circle pretty much, and you have a switch there. Let's go on the inner loop. Can't see the fish sign from this side, but there it is. Let's check out the crate. Crates, really. Put it in the dock area. Turn the switch back. Move that switch itself. Go in the outer loop. Could go either to another set right there. Or continue over there. As you saw, the set is pretty simple to play with. It isn't really that big in terms of its features. It's just trying to be a simple circuit. One thing that I really liked about this track layout is the whole symmetry of it. The inner circle, which has the dock area, as you see, is made fully out of green track, while the outer loop that's connected thanks to the switches is made out of blue track. I have zero idea if this was intentional or not, but it would be pretty cool to find out. One opinion that I could see floating around is that this set would have better suited Salty as an included character, because it's called Dockside Delivery. But in my opinion, I feel like this set isn't really trying to mimic the actual docks with Cranky if it doesn't have a crane, so let's just leave this set to its own imagination. I wanted to keep this review short, so that's all I could really say about this set. Let's get on to the final thoughts and the star rating. So for the cheap price point, you're getting a pretty big set that is decently themed to the docks, with a good expression of Thomas, some useful cargo, and a set that could be really good as my first starter set for starting out Thomas fans. I feel like for anyone who has collected AEG merch for a while, this set wouldn't really give you anything special other than the dock accessory, which is pretty nice, but there isn't really anything here that's gonna make you go wow. Not saying it's a bad thing though. I can say, however, that the big track layout would have definitely benefited a motorized engine better. Kinda gives me Vietnam flashbacks to the era we seen earlier in the video. I say that because only having a metal collection engine included, the track feels quite empty with only one engine. I guess it's just a matter of buying other engines in order to keep the excitement big. Now I know that for the merchandise, we have a big upgrade coming in the horizon. And for parents and kids that have a limited spending spree, I want to give you a little bit of an advice. The only new set for the time being that's going to come out for the 80th anniversary at launch is the motorized load and launch barrel delivery set. And that thing is going to cost most people a pretty penny base price of $50. From my experience, most people can't pay that kind of price for just a toy. So this is my recommendation. For the time being, get this set or some of the other smaller sets at a base price of $25, and then wait until June and get the classic characters at around $5, $8, or $10 maybe each. Now I understand that Fisher-Price is focusing a whole lot more on the motorized line, at least for the 80th anniversary, and it shows. But there's still a cherry-picked selection of characters coming out for Metal Collection that might pique your interest. With that guide out of the way, let's get on to the star rating. I'm giving this set a full star. Please note, I'm not giving this thing a full star because I think it's the best product ever. I'm just giving it a full star because of its value. I explained all my points before in the video, so I'm not going to be a broken record and say it again. Let's just end this. So I hope you found this review really useful, educational, and overall just a fun time. I've been waiting to do one of these on a new product for a while, so I'm very glad of how it turned out. Alright, I'm gonna pray to God that the new products get a good distribution to Chile. See you guys next time. Bye bye! Good morning, my dear gamers. Mashu here, and I'm finally recovered from my sickness. The only thing I have right now is just a little bit of boogers, and my throat is just a tiny bit dry. So if anyone can ignore that, that would be greatly appreciated. But I didn't want to disappoint with this review since I teased it for simply too long and it's been in development hell for a little bit. So I'm finally gonna release it. Today we're back at looking some more Thomas AEG products. Specifically, we're reviewing the Metal Collection Gordon and the Old Mines set. I remember this thing releasing back in 2023 back with an older box in some parts of the world, but it didn't release in Chile until the same assortment as Dockside delivery in December 2024. As a matter of fact, a lot of the info between this set and Dockside delivery are actually shared, and I don't want to repeat myself. So I recommend checking out the Dockside delivery set review before you finish this one out. And just for you, the first link in the description would be a shortcut to that same review if you want to get to it quickly. You can thank me later. Well, obviously not everything is the same. For starters, obviously the set is changed, the name is changed, there's no Thomas drawing in the bottom left. Instead we have a Gordon drawing. I noticed that the blue metal thing at the top that shows the engine and rolling stock is a tiny bit longer in this set, etc, etc. The top shows Gordon with his truck. Bottom has copyright blah blah nobody reads. This compatible thing is pretty much identical to the last set, but the area that shows the elements here just shows that it has 15 pieces. If you remember the previous set, it boasted on having 17 pieces. The back is pretty simple due to the set being a little bit smaller, but I did notice that the motorized error is somehow still present in this set. In the corner it says motorized when in reality it's supposed to say metal collection. Enough stalling, let's take a look at this bad boy outside of the box. Here's what the set looks like out of the box in a new condition. As a parent's note, there is a sticker sheet included with this set, but it's only for the billboard. Just like last time, the instructions have literally nothing of value and it's not worth talking about. Here's the aforementioned billboard with the sticker in it. I'll have personal things to say about the sticker myself later on, but I really like the billboard color being green. It stands out because this set doesn't come with green colored track. Time to pull yourself together, Big G. Let's look at Gordon. I always liked Gordon's model when I first got him and pushed along back in the day. I would have much preferred printing on the wheels and an open cab, and he would be quite a solid model. But other than that, he's solid overall. But most of y'all care about the face. And I'm happy to report, Gordon is showing almost like a grumpy face compared to the stock standard happy face. Even if in AEG Gordon is more of a father figure to the smaller engines, he still can't hide away his grumpiness just like the CGI series, and I'm very glad I have merch of him that has this face in it. It really shows up the character better compared to a stock standard face where he's happy. So yeah, thumbs up on the face. You can't have Gordon complete without his tender, of course. I don't have much to say on the tender considering that it's the same as just the normal Gordon. But this does give me time in order to show off something pretty cool that I personally like about these tenders. Notice if you turn around these tenders, notice where the screw is in that part? That's metal, that isn't plastic. This gives the tenders a little bit of weight to them and they actually perform a little bit better on the tracks by themselves. Remember back in the day during old CGI push along when the tenders were completely made of plastic fantastic? Yeah, those were garbage. Just gonna work that now through camera. In terms of rolling stock, we have a hopper car. But due to the fact that this one is colored silver and that the wheels are colored in this like wood or like they're rusty, this gives the impression that it's actually like a mine cart. The set is called Gordon in the Old Mines after all. This also gives me a good time in order to explain the hopper cart differences between the two lines of toys. To tell you exactly the differences, here's a shot between 3 hopper cars. 2 of them are metal collection / push along, and the right one there is from motorized. Here's a couple of differences that I noted. The motorized one is a little bit taller, while the metal collection ones are a little bit wider. I wouldn't say they are longer though, just wider. The motorized one uses more matte plastic, while the metal collection one uses a little bit of shinier plastic. It doesn't really get fingerprints, but is a little bit of a notable change. To me, the biggest change have to be the wheels. I opened up both of the blue hoppers in order to tell you the differences. On the motorized one, both of the wheels and the axles are connected into one single piece made out of full-on plastic. The wheels cannot move along the axle freely. Meanwhile, in metal collection, you have one metal axle and 2 plastic wheels. The wheels can freely move along the axle if they have enough space. I hope you can use all of that information into some good advice. Hopefully. I rambled on that thing for too long that I almost forgot the cargo piece. In short, it's a crystal with a lot of nice speckles. I already have this piece from another set, but it's in an orange color. I much rather prefer this purple color myself. There's a hole on the bottom of it, so it is compatible with a regular flatbed if you have one. Finally, here's the complete track layout. And being honest, yeah, this is a disappointment. Now that I think about it, my rambling from earlier was actually good in order to pass the time. Okay, let's not throw everything out of the bus here. To get this set credit, it is nicely themed in order to be a mine. You know, stuff like the crystal pieces, the elevation part with the wooden sign, and the billboard from earlier which actually has a sticker in it from Thomas in a mine. But going back to Dockside delivery, this set looks like a masterpiece compared to the one that we're looking at today. The main problem that I have with this set is just the track layout length. It may look impressive, but then you realize that it's using the stock standard 6 curve 2 straight track layout. Same as Fix 'em Up Friends, same as Wooden Bridge Delivery, the same as even Cassia Crane and Cargo set for back in the day from CGI. So many sets use this same track layout. And this one just simply blends in with the rest. That's not even the worst bit. This set doesn't even have a switch or a buffer with it. So you can't even extend out to a different set to this one if you wanted to. Dockside Delivery had a switch and a buffer, and they're sold at the exact same price point. What is this bullcrap? Well, I better get my money's worth. Let's go up over here. Go over this area. Let's load it there. I can go over here and repeat the loop. Nice sound. Top trick, always try to pull this car from the back instead of pushing it from the front, because you can see there on the curve the buffers actually collide. So you can't really do a very good run over there. So just pull it instead of push it. Well, I think it's safe to say that I've said more than enough that I wanted to say about this set. So in retrospect, I did say that the engine and the rolling stock were quite solid. I mean, the Grumpy Gordon face is definitely nice, but is it really worth the purchase at this set? Nah, not really. Also, that billboard, just the random screenshot, just doesn't make any sense. For now, I'm gonna have to give this set half a star. This set just has a worse layout, worse accessories, and while the face may be decent, the face isn't the only reason for why you buy a set like this. Let's be honest. So for any parent out there who cannot pick between one of these small sets, and they are conflicted between the Gordon set and any other set, just go for now for Dockside Delivery. Just do it. Because let's be honest, for a first set for a Thomas fan, a bigger layout is all you need, and Gordon in the Old Mines isn't gonna satisfy them for too long. If you really are desperate into getting this thing, get it on a sale or get a coupon code for it or anything, and do not pay full price for it. It's not worth it. And if you want a metal collection Gordon and don't care about the grumpy face, just get a normal one, you dingus. $8 and you're done. Well, it's time to get some calming down tablets, and I need to calm myself down and feel a little bit better, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Good evening, my dear gamers. Mashu here. We're back with another review, but it's not one you might have expected. I know everyone for now is just waiting for the diesel or whip sets in order to be reviewed, and trust me, I have too, but I haven't got the chance to buy them yet. So to alleviate the wait, we're gonna review a set that I had since last year but didn't really show it on my channel. I do remember seeing it in last year's assortments of sets, but I was really sick when it first came out, so I couldn't buy it at the time that it was released, so I had to wait quite a while longer. Enough story time. Today we're gonna look at the metal collection, Jane's and the Cow Corral set. Yes, I said corral. I'm gonna say corral with 2 R's like it says in the box instead of coral with 1 R. Because if I say coral, it reminds me of a coral reef. Anyway, who cares? As you could quite obviously tell, this box has a different design compared to the ones from nowadays. I'm not gonna list every single change because I'm not Fisher-Price or Mattel or anyone. But for starters, there's no Fisher-Price logo on top of the Thomas cloud. In the bottom left hand corner of the box, we don't see the Mattel logo, instead there's the Fisher-Price logo, and the character promo isn't on the bottom left hand corner anyway. At the time, the toy range was called Bush Along, and it wasn't until this set where it started to be called Metal Collection, meaning that the Metal Collection banner here was new at the time. And something I don't really like about this box has to be the front main image of the set. In previous sets we've seen, we have stuff like a beautiful render with more space in order for some artwork to flesh. But here we get like a slapped on photoshopped image of the set in a living room with a kid in it, just blocking out some of the art. In my opinion, it doesn't look as streamlined compared to the renders. The top of the box has the Thomas card alongside an image of the full set in action, while the bottom has a gobbledygook nobody reads. This compatible area hasn't changed from the other sets, and the piece count here actually says that it has 18 pieces. If you remember Dockside Delivery, that one boasted on having 17. So here we have one more added piece. Wow, so much value. And the back of the box has a more detailed description of how the set plays. For the curious ones, yes, in the top left corner of the box it says Metal Collection instead of Motorized. So it seems like the new set assortment simply had a big error that nobody fixed. Well, what do you say? Let's move on over to looking at the set out of the box. Finally, the instructions are actually interesting for once. They're not just made in the regular style of the other ones. While the other ones were more of a 4-page roadmap, this one is actually made like a book. I mean, sure, this one just has a fold-out segment, as you can see, but it looks a whole lot more professional than the other ones. I will gladly take this style of instruction manual rather than the other ones. As a parent's note, this set does come with a sticker sheet. One is for a buffer and the other's for a billboard. Time to look at the model of the included character, which is James. Fun fact, I didn't get a regular James model until March of this year. So this James was actually the first James model that I had for AEG. I like him, with stuff like the semi-open cab and all. But obviously the most important part about this one included with the set is the face. A stock standard James is looking straight ahead, while the one included in the set is almost looking at something which is on the ground. You can do a scene where James is actually looking at the cow included with this set. The face could also be used for, say, a conversation with another engine. So yeah, thumbs up on the face variant. The cargo car we get with this set is pretty interesting. Now, I don't know the official term of this, but I think it's called a livestock wagon. It uses the motorized style plastic wheels and axles that we mentioned in the previous review, and it's built quite nicely. I will mention the features it can do in just a second. In terms of cargo / accessories, we actually have two of them, one of them being cargo and the other one being livestock and or an animal. The yellow cargo I'm pretty sure is supposed to represent haystacks or hay bales, while the included animal is quite obviously a cow. From the cows that I've seen in some AEG episodes, I guess this one is kinda show accurate. Although I do feel like the facial expression it has, it's a little bit more angrier than I remember. So the aforementioned car can be played in two ways. Firstly with the hay. Due to the open room, you can easily fit the hay inside. Is what I would say if this wasn't a tight fit. It's quite snug and you need to put a fair amount of force in order to put it very secure. But it's there. And due to the fact that the car actually has two pegs in it, the cow can easily fit. I much recommend to play with this using the cow. It's much easier to get it out. I know that some of you spotted that the haystacks actually had a hole inside for a regular flatbed. It's nice to report that it actually does work. For now, I'm giving these two accessories a massive thumbs up. They bring a lot of life into this set, and they're very much usable in a fair amount of ways. Moving on to the truck layout, you can see that it's actually a pretty sizable set for the price. I will argue and say that Dockside Delivery does have a better length, but Cow Corral definitely has a better theming to the whole track. You can see stuff like a large amount of green that could represent grass, and I really like the darker purple they use for the Rocky Mountain section. It really does make it look like an actual mountain. Before we get into playing, I did wanted to mention the billboard because I know somebody will scream at me if I didn't. As much as I despise these billboards, at least I gotta give this one a little bit of credit. I mean, there's a literal cow on the line, and on the background you can see a barn that could represent Farmer McCall's farm. I haven't seen enough AEG in order to confirm that, but you get the main idea. We're gonna take the cow over to Farmer McCall's farm because there's a haystack surprise. Let's go. Yep. Here's the hay bales. Grabbing skills. Yep. Post-production Mashu speaking. I didn't know at the time if cows liked or eat hay, so I searched it up. One such forage option that has proven to be both appealing and nutritious for cows is hay. Hay is grass cut, dried, and stored for later use as fed. Its appeal to cows lies in its palatability, meaning it is easy to consume and digest. So I guess I'm not a stupid idiot. Just imagine if play. Now I gotta take the hay over to the station. Sorry, cow. Downhill action. There we go. With that, we get at the station. It's better to play the set through this side because James can actually look at the station, or James can look at the cow. That's pretty much the whole set explained. Time for the final thoughts and star reading then. For starters, this set definitely has the better accessories compared to the other ones that we've seen. And it isn't just because this set includes more accessories than usual, it's because the accessories are actually based off the theme of the set. They add to the imagination. They add power to the imagination a person can have with this, especially if it's a kit. And this track layout is leagues better than old mine, definitely. I think I've said more than enough that I wanted to say. This set is getting a full star. So in case a store near you still has dead stock of this set, definitely pick it up. I recommend it a lot. Werewolves definitely need to come back to a set like this, especially when it's a little bit older now. I do have a couple other sets that I want to check out which are a little bit older, so if you want to see those, leave a comment below. But for now I want to focus on what's new and upcoming. So, see you guys next time. Bye bye.